She turned her key as quietly as possible, not wanting to wake their 5-year-old son, Daniel, who she assumed was sleeping peacefully in his room. The house was dimly lit, just the soft glow from the hallway nightlight casting shadows on the walls. Anna slipped off her shoes, her mind already counting the hours until she'd have to be back at work. Being a nurse meant long hours, missed dinners, and an exhaustion that settled into her bones like a permanent guest. But she did it for her family, for Daniel, for the life they were trying to build together. Her husband Marcus worked from home as a software developer, and their arrangement had always seemed perfect on paper. He could be there for Daniel when she couldn't, picking him up from kindergarten, making him dinner, putting him to bed. They were a team, or at least that's what Anna had always believed. Sure, things had been strained lately. Marcus seemed distant, distracted, always on his phone or locked away in his office. Anna had chalked it up to work stress, to the monotony of marriage, to the inevitable settling that happens after 7 years together. If you're enjoying this story so far, please hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs to hear it, drop a comment below telling me what you think will happen next, and don't forget to subscribe to Trillionair in Love for more touching stories that will move your heart. Your support means everything to us. As Anna set her purse down on the kitchen counter, she heard it. A voice coming from Daniel's bedroom. Marcus's voice. She froze, her hand still on her purse strap, listening. At first, she smiled, thinking how sweet it was that Marcus was checking on their son, maybe reading him a late-night story or comforting him after a bad dream. But then she actually heard the words, and her smile vanished. I know this is hard, buddy, but I need you to understand something, Marcus was saying, his voice thick with emotion. Your mom, she works so hard for us. She gives everything she has, every single day, and I need to tell you something that I should have told her a long time ago. Anna's heart began to pound. She moved closer to Daniel's doorway, staying just out of sight, her body pressed against the wall. What was he doing? What was he saying to their son in the middle of the night? I've been scared, Marcus continued, and Anna could hear the crack in his voice. I've been so scared that I've been a terrible husband. I watch her leave for work every day, and I see how tired she is, how much she sacrifices, and I feel like I'm not enough. Like I'm failing her. Anna's breath caught in her throat. This wasn't what she expected. She had half convinced herself in that split second that she was about to overhear a confession of an affair, a secret that would shatter their family. Instead, she was hearing something entirely different, something that made her chest ache in a way she hadn't anticipated. The truth is, Daniel, Marcus said softly, I've been offered a job. A really good job at a company downtown. It would mean more money, enough that your mom wouldn't have to work such long hours anymore. She could maybe cut back to part-time, or even stay home if she wanted to. She could actually rest. She could be here to tuck you in every night instead of me telling you she'll kiss you when she gets home and you're already asleep. Anna's hand flew to her mouth. Marcus had never mentioned a job offer. Not once. But I didn't take it, Marcus continued, his voice breaking. I didn't take it because I was afraid. Afraid of the commute, afraid of not being here for you during the day, afraid of failing at something new, afraid of change. And every day I don't tell your mom about it, every day I let her keep working herself to the bone while I sit in my comfortable home office, I hate myself a little more. There was a long pause, and Anna could hear Marcus taking shaky breaths. She realized she was crying, tears streaming silently down her face as she stood frozen in the hallway. Your mom deserves better than a coward for a husband, Marcus whispered. She deserves someone brave enough to step up, to take risks for the family, to protect her the way she protects us. Tomorrow, I'm going to tell her everything. I'm going to call that company back and tell them yes, if the offer is still open. I'm going to start being the partner she deserves, even if it terrifies me. Because loving someone means being brave for them, Daniel. Remember that when you grow up. It means facing your fears so they don't have to face theirs alone. Anna heard movement, the sound of Marcus adjusting Daniel's blanket, the soft kiss he placed on their son's forehead. She quickly wiped her tears and stepped back, unsure of what to do. Should she confront him now? Pretend she heard nothing? Her mind was reeling, emotions crashing over her like waves. She didn't have time to decide. Marcus emerged from Daniel's room and stopped short when he saw her standing there, her eyes red and puffy, her work scrub still on, her whole body trembling. "Anna," he breathed, his face going pale. "How long have you been standing there?" "Long enough," she managed to say, her voice barely above a whisper. "Why didn't you tell me?" Marcus's eyes filled with tears, and he looked down at his feet like a child caught in a lie. "Because I'm ashamed," he said quietly. "Because admitting that I was too scared to take a job that could help our family, that could give you your life back, makes me feel like less of a man. Less of a husband. Less of a father." Anna crossed the distance between them in 3 quick steps and wrapped her arms around him, burying her face in his chest. Marcus stood rigid for a moment, shocked, before his arms came around her and he held her like she was the only solid thing in a spinning world. "You're not less of anything," Anna said fiercely, pulling back to look him in the eyes. "You've been here, every single day, raising our son, keeping our home together, supporting me even when I'm too exhausted to support you back. Do you know how many times I've come home to a clean house, a fed child, and a husband who asks about my day even though I barely have energy to answer? That's not failure, Marcus. That's love." "But you're killing yourself," Marcus said, his voice cracking. "I watch you leave before sunrise and come home after dark. I see the exhaustion in your eyes, the way you force yourself to smile for Daniel even when I know your feet are aching and your back is sore. I see it all, and I've had the power to change it, but I've been too much of a coward to act." "Then let's act now," Anna said firmly. "Together. Call them tomorrow. Take the job. We'll figure out the childcare, the schedule changes, all of it. We're a team, remember? You don't have to carry this guilt alone, and you don't have to make these decisions alone either." Marcus shook his head, fresh tears falling. "What if I fail? What if I can't handle the pressure of a corporate job after being home for so long? What if I'm not good enough?" "Then we'll figure that out too," Anna said, cupping his face in her hands. "Marcus, I didn't fall in love with you because you were perfect or fearless. I fell in love with you because you're kind, because you're thoughtful, because you love our son with everything you have. Being brave doesn't mean not being afraid. It means doing the hard thing even when you're terrified." Something shifted in Marcus's expression then, a weight seeming to lift from his shoulders. He pressed his forehead against Anna's, and they stood there in the hallway outside their sleeping son's room, holding each other in the quiet darkness. "I heard what you said to Daniel," Anna whispered. "About me deserving better. But you're wrong. I don't deserve better than you. I deserve you exactly as you are, fears and doubts and all. Because you're the man who talks to our sleeping son about being brave, who cries because he wants to protect me, who carries his guilt like a burden because he loves us that much. That's the man I married, and that's the man I choose, every single day." Marcus let out a sound that was half laugh, half sob. "How did I get so lucky?" "We both got lucky," Anna said, smiling through her tears. "And tomorrow, we're going to get even luckier when you call that company and accept their offer. Because this family is about to start a new chapter, and we're going to write it together." They stood there for a long moment, just holding each other, two people who had been carrying separate burdens learning to share the weight. Then Marcus pulled back slightly, a small smile on his tear-stained face. "I love you," he said simply. "I'm sorry I didn't tell you sooner." "I love you too," Anna replied. "And I'm sorry I've been so focused on work that I didn't see how much you were struggling. We need to communicate better. Both of us." "Deal," Marcus agreed. "Starting now. Starting tonight. Starting with this conversation that I should have had with you months ago instead of confessing to our sleeping 5-year-old. Anna laughed, a real laugh that felt like light breaking through clouds. "Well, Daniel gives good advice, apparently. He didn't interrupt you once." They walked together to their bedroom, hand in hand, feeling closer than they had in months. That night, they talked for hours, really talked, about fears and dreams and the future they wanted to build. Marcus called the company first thing in the morning, and the offer was still open. He started 3 weeks later, and while the transition was hard, while there were adjustments and challenges and moments of doubt, they faced it all together. Anna was able to cut her hours at the hospital, and for the first time in years, she was home to tuck Daniel into bed most nights. She watched her son's face light up when she walked through the door while the sun was still up. She felt the exhaustion slowly leave her body, replaced by an energy she'd forgotten she could have. And Marcus, despite his fears, thrived in his new role. He was good at it, really good, and the confidence he gained spilled over into every aspect of their lives. But more than the financial relief, more than the schedule changes, what saved their family was the honesty. It was Marcus finding the courage to be vulnerable, to admit his fears and failures. It was Anna learning to look beyond her own exhaustion to see her husband's pain. It was both of them realizing that partnership isn't about being perfect, it's about being present, being honest, and being willing to change when change is needed. Years later, when Daniel was older and asked about that night, about why his dad suddenly got a new job when he was 5, Marcus and Anna told him the truth. They told him about the conversation in his bedroom, about the fears and the tears and the decision to be brave. They told him that sometimes love means admitting when you're scared, and sometimes being a family means facing those fears together, not alone. The greatest tragedy in any relationship isn't the challenges you face, it's the silence you keep when you should be speaking. Marcus and Anna's story reminds us that vulnerability isn't weakness, it's the foundation of real intimacy, the courage that builds lasting love. If this story touched your heart, please do us a favor, hit that like button, share this video with someone who needs encouragement in their relationship, drop a comment below telling us about a time when honest communication changed your life, and subscribe to Trillionair in Love for more powerful stories about real love and real courage. Remember, every great love story is built on brave conversations and honest hearts. Thank you for being part of our community, and until next time, keep choosing love, keep choosing bravery, and keep choosing each other.